At this point, you've loaded the receipt and you've confirmed that the receipt was delivered from Apple. You have the ASN1 parsing functions written, so now it's time to read the receipt contents. Apple provides a diagram of the binary which you can use to parse the data. The receipt contains a bunch of attributes. Each attribute contains a type, a version, and a value. You'll loop through the attributes and learn about the meaning of some of them. The most important attribute, of course, is the 17th one. This is the one that contains all of your in-app purchase information. Remember, this information is also encrypted, so you'll have to decrypt that as well. But you'll do that in the next episode. To get started, open your starter project in progress or download the starter project for this episode. Open up applereceipt.swift. At the end of init, add the following. Now to create the read receipt method. This method will take an unsafe mutable pointer. Now get the signature and the receipt contents. Then get a pointer to the start of the data and to the end of it. Now to start parsing the payload. You'll create 3 variables to store information. Now to populate these variables. First, get the ASN1 object. The variables should all be populated now, but it's good to check for your expected type. Here you're expecting a set type. Now comes the part where you actually read the payload. You'll do this in a loop. You'll loop through a series of pointers until you reach the end of the payload. To start, get your first object. You'll verify that it's a sequence. If it isn't a sequence, then you've run into unexpected data, so you drop out. Now you get the next object. This should be an integer representing the attribute type. The next item is the attribute version. You don't need this, but you'll still verify it's the expected type. Finally, you get the next object, which is a sequence of bytes. At this point, you have all the information to process the current attribute. You'll now construct a switch statement. This contains a lot of different cases. First, you get the bundle identifier. Using an enumeration is a great fit here, but since you're dealing with hackers who may be able to change memory values, you code against constants. Those properties don't exist, so you'll need to add them. Case number 3 is the bundle version. Create a new property for the bundle version string. Case 4 is an opaque value. The opaque value is used for additional verification as another way to check that you are working with a genuine Apple receipt. You'll use this in another episode. Next, create the opaque data property. Case 5 is a GUID. This is used in conjunction with the opaque value to verify a receipt. Create your hash data property. Case 12 is the receipt creation date. And create your receipt creation date property. Case 17 is your actual in-app purchase details. That is, the specific information about the purchase itself. You'll just print out a message for now. Case 19 is the original app version. Of course, you need to create the original app version property. Case 21 is the expiration date. Create the expiration date property. Finally, you provide the default case. You're simply ignoring the other cases. Last but not least, you advance the pointer for the next attribute. And that's it. Now you've read the contents for the actual purchase. You'll do that again in the upcoming episode.